Welcome to the Black Men Experiences. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, a trans woman, born biological male, transforms to a trans woman, and this violent one deletes a Black man's life at a Brooklyn's Deli. And then to throw the salt on top of the wound, this Black woman makes excuses for it. Yes. Being a Black man, especially an American Black man within Americanism, collectively is very dangerous. The hate that is continuously generationally produced is at catastrophic levels, and it's irrelevant if a person does not believe that or not. It's happening every day. And only a foolish person, a person that will believe otherwise, right? See, the thing about it is, this system likes to see numbers of Black males do this, right? When reality is being shown. Yes. They like numbers of Black men, especially numbers of American Black men, right? With few exceptions. They know collectively they like Black men to just be looking like this, right? Just going off, on people and taking the lives of another Black man and being selfish and tolerating disrespect from a collective amount of American Black women. Again, with very few exceptions of really good American Black women, which is dwindling. Now, in this situation today, about this deadly murderous trans woman that deleted a Black man. The hatred does not matter where it comes from, right? In this situation, it was a dangerous trans woman that took this Black man who was a father, hardworking, United States Post Office, right? Not a stereotype, negative, lazy, deadbeat dad. You know that old trope that society loves to play, right? Black men are violent, right? Even though Black males are the most hated upon, right? Even though the Black males in America collectively, again, I'm not talking about sellouts and gullibles and naive ones, right? Are the ones that are shown the most hatred. And it's not Black males who commit the most crimes. It is numbers of males within the predominant culture. Oh, but they don't like sitting there talking about that part. Yes, they don't like doing that. No. So in this topic, let me go ahead and play this particular initial video. And I want you to keep in mind how they don't even want to talk about calling this person trans, right? They don't want to even do that. But if this was vice versa and a Black male did this to a biological male that transformed over to a trans woman, especially in this situation, a white Hispanic trans woman, it would have been national outrage. Do you see the game they playing, this disgusting tactic? But let me go ahead and play this initial first video. Give me 1 second. Okay.
A Bronx family tonight mourning the death of a father who was fatally stabbed Thursday while ordering a deli sandwich. Loved ones say that it happened while he was on the job as a mail carrier. And they say that he took that job to get out of poverty, never thinking this would happen. John Diaz spoke with family members.
A makeshift memorial continues to grow outside the home of 36-year-old Ray Hodge, with his United States Postal Service hat in the middle. Loved ones lighting candles and hanging photos of the Bronx man who was a father of two.
It's just messed up that the family got to go through this.
This man says he grew up with Hodge.
He was trying to just make some money. You know, that's it. Just getting up, doing what he got to do to provide for his kids.
Hodge's brother echoing that in a statement, saying, quote, he was an honorable and respectful man who took care of his family. Police say while on the job as a mail carrier, Hodge was fatally stabbed Thursday when he was ordering a sandwich at a deli in Harlem.
Why? Like, senseless.
They took one of the good ones from us and all that.
Police say 24-year-old Ajaya Cruz has been arrested for the crime. Witnesses say she got angry and started to argue with Hodge over who was first in line to order.
And that little disgusting tactic for the people who have not known about this particular topic, right? That's how numbers of videos will try to twist it. Oh my goodness, you know, well, both of them were in line. This black man and this trans white Hispanic woman, they're in line, and I'm gonna show you in a little bit where they try to play little twisty little tactics where they try to act like that the black man, that, you know, he was trying to skip line, right? See the game, right? But then we're going to hear about who was actually the person who was in front first. Watch the games.
Order. Deli workers say they saw the whole thing.
I separate them. The male guy in the front, the lady, she was in the back. She's spilling him.
Deli workers say they saw the whole thing.
I separate them. The male guy in the front, the lady, she was in the back. She's spilling him in his.
Workers say they saw the whole thing.
I separate them. The male guy in the front, the lady, she was in the back. She's spilling him in his face.
Witnesses claim in an instant, Cruz pulled out a knife and fatally stabbed Hodge in the stomach. In a statement, a spokesperson for USPS said it, quote, takes matters involving the safety and well-being of Postal Service employees as a top priority. Officials say Hodge worked as a mail carrier since the summer of 2022, based out of the Morningside Annex on West 125th Street. Loved ones say Hodge was just trying to make a living.
To see him, you know, go from one stage of life to the next to better himself was anything you could ask from a kid.
These disgusting tactics. And it should have been national outrage at this, because if this would have been a black man that sat there and stabbed a white Hispanic trans or in generalness, it would have been national outrage. It would have been like, we must do more to protect The trans, like this, watch this. The Biden-Harris administration announces new actions to protect LGBTQ plus communities. Right? Protect L-ness, G-ness, B-ness, T-ness, Q-ness plus communities from attacks on their rights and safety. Do you see this piece of crap on this? But they know that people that do just like this. They see nothing, they hear nothing, and they know nothing when it's black male pain continuously going on. Right? And then, like as I said earlier, then add this black woman who is becoming more of an enemy to black men, to the one it's obliged to, right? And I'm not talking about sellout numbers of black males. I'm not talking about gullible ones or deflectors. I'm not talking about naive ones, right? There's too many of them. And this is why, again, American black women collectively, modern day, do not show respect to American black males collectively, right? And we're very few exceptions of black males that know the game. And numbers of American black modern day women, the ones it applies to, cannot stand a strong thinking black male, right? So, but you see this right here, the Biden-Harris administration announces new actions to protect LGBTQ plus communities. Well, who's protecting an American black male? Remember, for people who don't know, the American black male is the most hated, who has been the most hated in Americanism history. Right? Even though there's no other male that compares to the American black male in achievements and bravery and things like that, there is no comparison. Right? And at the same time, who has the most hate crimes put upon any males within in Americanism? Nobody compares to the American black male. But they gave other people an anti hate crime bill, a law. But they didn't sit there and give the most hated males. Do you see the slap in the face? Right? I'm telling you, the games are atrocious, but they continue to keep being succeeding because they say, well, it's not enough black males collectively in America to sit there and say enough of this, right? With few exceptions. But let me go ahead and show you where I was talking about. Remember, I was talking about how this black woman, right, who in her misogynistic behavior, right? Because how many black males have heard, oh, misogyny, left and right, right? And many numbers of American blacks do not know how to fight back relating to informational knowledge. To say, wait a minute, with that misogynistic behavior, which means you hate that male, and especially misogynistic anti-American black behavior. You hate the black male, which this particular actions by this particular black woman is easily construed to be that way, to make excuses for this trans white Hispanic to murder this black male and make excuses for it. Give me 1 second. Let me sit there and show you that what I'm talking about. The atrociousness of this. That's why you cannot trust quite a number of American black women more and more, with very few exceptions.
It is I Hope Giselle. And today I'm coming at y'all sick, legitimately with COVID. But I see that some of the things that I posted have gotten a lot of you all up in a tizzy. And so I wanted to come and address, explain, and clarify some things.
Her drink just irritates me, the way she drinks.
Let me say this first and foremost. As it pertains to the story around Jaya, for those of you all who don't know, there was a trans woman who has been arrested, and she was arrested because she stabbed a man to death in New York. And it was in a bodega after what people are saying is what I believe a lot of the girls don't believe to be the full story, right? Considering that if you are a trans woman or if you're a woman in general, to be perfectly honest, you understand and you know the lengths that men will go to protect themselves. And I think that that's a part of the reason why this narrative is so difficult for a lot of people to understand and to grasp, because we understand as women, no matter what kind of woman you are, that when men commit provoking acts of violence and then those men fall victim to that violence that they provoked, oftentimes the woman is deemed as the crazy one. The woman is deemed as the person that was out of control. The woman is deemed as the person that doesn't have her right mind. It's just all of these different things that go around. And again, this is not just about the idea that Jaya is trans, and so I'm speaking up for her because she's a trans woman. This is about the idea that all women go through situations like this, and we go through them on different levels.
You hear this illogical ass, silly ass tactic? This is what white feminism do when they hear a silly mouth black woman, the one supposed to talk like that, right? This is how they sound, thinking about silly black women, the ones supposed to, right? When you got black women spearing out hatred toward a black male and trying to defend devious behavior and all this nonsense stuff, this is what they be doing, white feminist type people. Right? Oh, God, the ignorance of that, right? Most black women in Americanism are lost modern day, with very few exceptions on that. But remember, excuse me, let me sit there now. Keep that in mind. The excuse she was making, right? Now you heard she was making excuses for that violent trans white Hispanic biological male transformed to trans woman, right? Making excuses for that. Give me a second here. Now, let's look at what this says. Hold on. Jaya Cruz accused of stabbing a postal worker, a black postal worker, do not let people minimize, to death over a spot in line at a Harlem deli yesterday. Has a history of knife violence. And you hear that little misogynistic, anti-American black male, black woman. She didn't talk about that, right? Oh my goodness, the violence put upon black women, trans women, and all that kind of stuff like that. Oh my goodness. Oh, black women understand. Did you see this? What does it say again? She's accused of stabbing Jaya Cruz, white Hispanic trans woman, biological born, is accused of stabbing a black postal worker to death over a spot in line at a Harlem deli. Yesterday has a history of knife violence. Oh, but see, they ain't gonna talk about that part, right? Ray Hodges on duty, United States Postal Service letter carrier was grabbing lunch when he skipped the line directly in front of Cruz. You see that little disgusting tactic? I showed you the video where it says, nope, she was behind him. He was in front. You see the disgusting ass tactics, right? This is so essential for numbers of black males to know the games, right? Know the games. And then it says Cruz was arrested at least 5 times before the attack. Cruz was arrested at least 5 times before the attack. Oh my goodness. Oh, but that little misogynistic anti-American black against black males, black woman, right? You hear that bull crap? She didn't talk about that part, did she? I'm telling you, man, the black woman collectively is becoming more of a danger to black males in America. And many black males, unfortunately, going losing their lives more, getting injured and being played like simps left and right with very few exceptions of black males. It is a dangerous game that a lot of black males in America still haven't got it through their mentality to be on their P's and Q's against black women, right? Collectively. Let me sit there and show you something. Don't want to show you something else on here? Oh, yes. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. I'm almost finished, sure. Almost finished. Give me here. Go. Hold on. What? That's not it. Nope. Nope. There we go.
Oh, I'm such a whore.
What was that? She listened to that kind of music? That little demonic music too?
I'm such a whore.
What did she say again? She's a what?
Oh, I'm such a whore.
Oh my goodness. But that anti-American black male hater black woman that you heard was trying to make excuses for this white Hispanic biological male transformed to white trans woman, was trying to make excuses for her stabbing this black responsible black male to death, right? Behind her skipping line in a deli in Brooklyn because she wanted to skip the line and she thought that was a sucker black male just as relating to she can just skip the line and tell her to shut the hell up. But again, if that would have been if that black male would have sat there and stabbed her like that and skipped the line, it would have been national outrage. By the way, and her being only 24 years old, what am I saying? She's a grown ass adult. This article talks about how a 24-year-old transgendered, 23-year-old transgender, and notice how in the video about the news person, they didn't want to talk about that. See how that goes? But if it was a black male that did that to that trans woman, oh my goodness, this man, and it's how they mentality, they would want to say, this black male, he said that style this trans woman in New York. Oh my goodness, what we're going to do about hatred for trans? Oh my, that's how the game goes. But it talks about how a 24-year-old transgender New Yorker has been charged with murder for allegedly knifing a United States Post Office mail carrier in the stomach while he was waiting in line to buy lunch. Ray Hodge III was only 36 years old, postal carrier, a father of two. He suffered multiple stab wounds after an argument broke out while the two were standing in line. He was on duty at the time of the attack, just trying to get him a sandwich. So he got stabbed by this violent white Hispanic trans woman, biological male born, right behind a sandwich that she wanted to skip line to get a sandwich. And by the way, I'm not talking about numbers of good people. There are some good numbers of people that may have to be just happen to be trans. That's just the way their lifestyle is, however it go, right? You got some bad ones out there. Just like you got some good heterosexual type people out there, you got some bad ones. So we're not going to play that tactic, right? So I'm going to stop right here. And I want to show, I think, one or two last quick things. I got to play this again. I got to play this again here. Woo! But that anti-American black woman, right, that's making excuses, right, for this white Hispanic trans woman, they ain't gonna say anything about that either. You see how this is a disgusting tactic, how they keep trying to do stuff, right? So, but remember, the Biden-Harris administration announces new actions to protect LGBTQ plus community, right? But they didn't sit there in 4 years do any type of anti-American black hate crime bills, nothing specifically to protect black males, nothing. Had 4 years. And this right here, this situation happened before Trumpism. Oh, don't get it confused. When Trumpism, oh my goodness. That's all I got to say. So, but the problem is as well, the blaming of black males, even though black males collectively who voted, the majority still voted for Kamala. And you got people that try to make sure to not to talk about that because they got to blame the black male. You saw that discussing game goes. And watch this. Watch this. That's a trans woman. Oh, whoa, what? Oh! Remember the white Hispanic trans woman that was born a biological male? One of the things that they did, their violent self did, in stabbing that black male is before they spitted upon that black male. Some of the worst things you can do toward that male is also spit upon his face. That's like a master-slave relationship, right? And that white Hispanic trans woman, in her mentality, she thought she was better than a black man. This is why numbers of American blacks continuously keep falling behind, with very few exceptions, talking about black and brown nonsense games. There is no black and brown games, or there's no black and brown camaraderie. Are they you crazy? No such thing as that in this country, right? As if American blacks, first of all, need to do something with black and brown. Are you crazy? American blacks have consistently been by themselves in this country and achieved the greatness that nobody else, if they were put in that same situation, American blacks, for centuries, they'd have been destroyed collectively. You see how this goes, right? So people are just feeding off American blacks, feeding off American black males, doing a thing in Americanism, right? And people collectively are not giving the credit back and consistently disrespecting American blacks, especially American black males, with very few exceptions, right? Just like this trans version of trans in this, right? So that little sorry misogynistic black woman, right? That's anti-American black maleness. She won't talk about this, right? This hatred of this trans, will she? Nope. But watch this, right? But the Biden-Harris administration announces new actions to protect L-ness, G-ness, B-ness, Q-ness plus community. You see this damn game that continues to be played upon millions and millions within American blackism, with very few exceptions, right? And this is why I have to say again that I stand by what I say, because there's so many internal problems going on within American blackism, the modern day, and there's very few exceptions, that American blacks collectively within Americanism only have half a generation to one generation left before the overall complete destruction of the American black culture. Yes. Yes.
I couldn't help but note your pain. My pain, it runs deep. Share it with me. I couldn't help but note your pain. My pain, it runs deep. Share it with me.
Thank you for tuning in to the Black men's experiences. Oh my goodness. See, oh my goodness. People always try to try to talk about a trans. Oh my goodness. Especially trans women of color. See, those black males are so violent. Oh my goodness, they so violent, right? And they also trying to go against the trans women of color and stuff like that. Instead of more American black men be like, go to that they refuse collectively to play that game, but it's not going to happen. So the best that's possible is just a few more American black men stand together. Again, I thank you for tuning in to the Black Men's Experiences. I'm your host, CP.
I couldn't help but note your pain. My pain, it runs deep. Share it with me. I couldn't help but note your pain. My pain, it runs deep. Share it with me.